as we begin to explore TDA essay writing. We're going to begin this week with Module 1, Understanding What is a TDA in all of its parts. I thought we would begin with the end in mind, and let's take a quick view of the text-dependent analysis scoring rubric. Let's take a look at the domains of which are going to be scored, and let's notice how those domains are very similar to our tasks in writing narrative, informational, and opinion. Overall, you could earn a 4, which is the highest score, if you understood the text and answered the question effectively. As we mentioned in the introduction video, a TDA has some text that we have to read and understand, and then a prompt of which we're going to analyze. Did we understand both those tasks? Then we're going to organize our writing focused on that task. We will have an effective introduction and an effective ending. Give me a thumbs up if you have crafted an effective introduction and ending in your writing so far this year. I bet a lot of you have your thumbs up. Yes, we've been adding introductions and endings since kindergarten. Level 4 TDA writing also includes elaboration. Did I give reasons to support my claims or ideas? Did I include examples and information from the text to support my ideas? And did I reference the key details of the text? You also need to add your craft, which I know we work on really hard throughout the year. Did you make choices so that we could see you within the text? Did you use purposeful word choices? And did you use strong vocabulary? I know we've really worked on elaboration and craft throughout the years in other genres, since those typically score the highest points in our other genres. Looking at the end of the rubric, we also need to have clear transitions that connect your ideas together and very few spelling and convention errors. Okay, we have noticed that the rubric for TDA is very similar to the rubrics we have followed all year. So now let's look at a sample TDA essay. Before we begin crafting our own, let's take a look at a level 4 essay. The prompt for this essay is this. The theme of One Lucky Fish, which was the text the student read, is the importance of Greg's relationship with his fish, Finn. Write an essay explaining how key details in the story support this theme. Use evidence from the story to support your answer. So let's take a look at the student's essay. It said Greg's relationship with Finn is very important throughout the story. His relationship is important because Greg loves and cares about Finn. Okay, so when I'm thinking back to the rubric, we needed to have an effective lead that told the reader what we're going to write about. The student did so right here at the beginning. Now the student begins to have some evidence. According to the text, Greg thinks sharing a room with Finn was so much fun. See, they used quotes here. If Greg wouldn't love and care about Finn so much, he wouldn't have said that sharing a room with Finn was so much fun. All right, you'll notice in a TDA, not only in our elaboration and craft do we need to have evidence, but we also need analysis. Here's the analysis piece after the evidence. Here's another piece of evidence. In the second paragraph, it says that he was going to watch his dad and his tank first so he wouldn't hurt Finn. This is the analysis that leads to your own thinking after the evidence. When Greg said this, he didn't want Finn to get hurt because he loves him. Just like if you love someone, you wouldn't want them to be getting hurt because of you doing something wrong. Here, the student's elaboration are not words from the book, but there are reasons from their own brain for why the text is important. Why the evidence from the text is important. All right, here the student had yet another piece of evidence. In the 7th paragraph from the end of the passage, Greg says that he was starting to consider himself a fish expert. So the student not only has evidence, but then's going to have some elaboration, some analysis for further elaboration. He wouldn't have said that if he hadn't wanted to learn a lot about Finn, so he would know what to do, so he would know what not to do, just like a fish expert. So he could do his best for Finn. Just like if you were meeting a new friend for the first time, you would want to talk to them and get to know them so you will get along with each other and not always fight, and make sure it is a good idea that you are friends. In this passage, it also states, when Finn tried to jump out of the cup and into the tank, he completely missed the tank or the cup and went straight down the drain of the sink, and Greg was horrified. Now here's evidence plus analysis, your own thinking. Every time, or at least most of the time, when you are horrified about something or someone, you normally care about them, or you maybe even love them, and you would be horrified if anything like that happened to them, if it is your fault or not. Greg's relationship with Finn was very strong because Greg loves and cares about Finn so much throughout the story. For example, how he had so much fun having Finn staying in his room with him, or even when he wanted to watch his dad clean the tank for the first time so he didn't hurt Finn, or maybe even considering himself a fish expert and studying and learning as much as he could about fish and Finn so he wouldn't know what to do or what not to do for Finn. And last but not least, he was horrified because Finn fell in the drain. That is why Greg's relationship is very strong. Students, did you notice that the student restated some of the claims and ended with their claim at the end? Restated the evidence and strong claim here at the end. So, what parts of the essay met the rubric? Did we notice the student have organization with different pieces of evidence, a lead, an ending, elaboration craft with evidence, great word choice and analysis, as well as some transition words, such as, let's go back to that one. In the passage, it also states, in the 7th paragraph from the end of the passage, Greg says, according to the text. And now the student did have some errors in spelling and convention, and you are allowed a few and still able to earn 4 points. I do feel if the writer could reread, just like you will, before we turn it in, a lot of those mistakes can be caught. Okay, I hope you are feeling excited about writing your own text-dependent analysis essay soon. I know you've been working hard all year, and this celebration genre helps us to put all the things that we know is good from all genres into this essay. I'll see you soon.